and here's the host, Dillon Rowe.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Build Your Own Friends. Thank you for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. Today, on How to Build Your Own Friends, we're going to show you how to build a robot drivetrain. It's a really simple process. It doesn't take much time, effort, or materials, and it's really simple. So let's get started. So first off, you want to start with your modules. And they're really simple to build. It only takes a couple of parts. So first off, we want to get your motor, and you're going to find the holes that you want to attach it to. You want to take your bearing, which is this little plastic piece right here, and we'll get to its use here in a moment. You're going to attach where you want it to go. You're going to line up all your holes, get your screws in, and then attach that. All you really need is these Allen wrenches here. Takes just a couple of turns, and we will get that tightened down. Okay, now that we have that, you want to take your shaft, which is the part that the motor turns, and it's what your wheels are going to be rotating on. So what you want to do, you insert that, and you take your shaft collar, which goes on the end of the shaft, and it keeps the shaft from moving side to side as it's actually moving. So you put that in there, stick it in the motor, and then you want to tighten that down. And you really want to crank it down and make sure that it doesn't come loose while it's moving. Okay, so that's over there. So now that we have that done, you want to take this spacer here, and just like the bearing with the shaft, you want to make sure, or it's going to keep the wheel from grinding up against this metal here whenever it's rotating. So you have the spacer on, you attach the wheel, and as you can see, rotates freely, which is always good. You're going to take your other shaft collar, and you're going to stick it on the end down here, so that way the wheel can't move. So now you can really see I'm trying to pull it out, and it's just not going anywhere. So now that you have that, you want to attach this half of the module to your frame here. Now granted, this is pretty sketchy because it's just not together. A full competition size robot wouldn't look like this. It would be more stabilized. It would have more support going across. But for time's sake, we're going to keep it pretty unstabilized. So what we do now is we have these screws, and you're going to put, I'm going to go with 2 on the top and the bottom here. And then you're going to attach it with these Keps nuts here that I have. And these are really, really simple to use. And if I can get it here. I say simple to use, and then I can't do it. There we go. You crank that down. They're really easy to use because you can do it with just your hands. It doesn't require any kind of wrench or anything to tighten these nuts down. I'm going to finish this up, and while I'm doing that, we're going to head to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back after the break and from our sponsors at the Grant plant. We'll see you after the break. Thanks.
I guess it's going to be a ramen noodle night again. Where'd you get all that money? Did you rob a bank or something?
The Grant plant, duh.
Just call 1-800-GRANT-PLANT. It's easy as that.
No more ramen noodles for this guy. Thanks, Brooke.
Hi, and welcome back to How to Build Your Own Friends. I'm still finishing attaching these back plates here almost have that done. Let's see here. There we go. Now that we have that done, you can see up here, it's still really, really flimsy. So what we want to do here is we want to attach another bar across the front here to give it just a little bit more extra support and make sure that the metal doesn't flex while you're moving around. So we're going to get that on there. And you're going to use your Allen wrench here, tighten that down. There we go. And then we've got one more bar right here. So that way we can attach the brain to our robot, which is the part that all your motors will plug into, and that controls the movement of the robot. So now that we have this done, we're going to take our brain here, and we're going to attach it right here at the center of the robot. And now, normally, you wouldn't use screws that are this long, but we had a shortage of supplies, so we're going to use these long, long screws and stick them up through the middle here. We're going to tighten these down and do the same for the opposite side here. There we go. All right, now that's done, we have to plug in our motors to the brain here. Now, not all of these motors have built-in motor controllers, so that way, like your controller here, it has to have something to send the signals to tell the motor how fast it needs to move. Since they don't have them in there, we have these extra pieces right here, and this is your motor controller. So what you do is you just attach it like so, and then you go about plugging each motor into the ports that you want your controller to move. So we do that for each side. And you plug each of the ports into the brain. We have another one right here. Put that in. And we got the last one right here. Obviously, this is just a mess. So what you would want to do if you were actually using this robot in a competition is you would want to take this, you want to zip tie all of them together and stick them down somewhere. But since I obviously don't have anywhere to do it right here, I'm just going to have to leave it, which is unfortunate. So what you would do then is you would take these things right here, and this is what plugs into your controller and into your robot, which gives it the signal of how to move. But due to technical difficulties, I was unable to get this done, and so I won't actually be able to drive the robot and demonstrate it moving about. But this is pretty much it. It took less than 30 minutes to build this entire thing. It's really simple. Really, this will get anything done that you need it to do. We kind of got a slick surface here, so I can't really push it about, but it will move. It will get anything that you need to do. From here, you can put anything you want on top of this. You can put an arm or some kind of intake or anything you want to pick up certain objects like a tennis ball or a ring or anything. Yeah, so let me just go over everything again. We got the 4 motors here. They're all direct driven. We don't use any kind of gears or anything. We have those here, and you can use those to make the drivetrain faster or slower, depending on your preference or what you need to accomplish. But just the direct driven motors here gives an accurate speed for each wheel. It'll keep it moving in the right direction, and that's the end. So come back next week, and I'll show you how to do something else. Thanks.